turbo. The big difference now, though, is the new engine is water-cooled and mid-mounted. 2.5 litres provides 204 horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds at a top speed of 149 miles an hour.
But it's the way the whole package works, engine with chassis, chassis with controls, that makes it a special car to be in.
And when you drop it down a gear or two and give it some revs, it sounds perfect. The handling of the Porsche is also superb. It goes just where you want it to go, with a little hint of safe understeer when you push it to the limit. But of course, with the traction control off, I can probably also get the back out if I want to. Now, you might think it's all fast cars and fun on Top Gear, but then just when you're enjoying yourself, you sort of find you haven't got any gears anymore. Now, we've found a bit of plastic under the car. We're somewhere in the middle of Germany, and Dan, have you phoned Porsche yet?
Yeah.
And how much money do you think they'll pay us for development costs?
Not enough.
Oh, no.
It's a fault that cropped up on a couple of the pre-production launch cars and will doubtless never happen again. But as we waited for Porsche to arrive and carry out a 5-second repair, everyone decided something very profound. We'd actually rather have a Boxster than a 911. True, the 911 is faster and has rear seats, but it's twice the price of the 35 grand Boxster. You are looking at Porsche's idea of a bargain.
So, what do you get for your £35,000? Well, for a start, you get a roof that does this.
It takes just 12 seconds to raise the roof with Porsche's new Z-shaped system, which keeps you snug and quiet, even at top speed.
You get a boot in the front and a boot in the back,
where, with the engine hidden in the middle, the water and oil fillers are located.
You get a leather interior, these very attractive instruments, and airbags on both sides. But you have to pay extra for air conditioning, the Tiptronic automatic gearbox, and a hard roof for the winter. But now, it's still the summer, and I want to make the most of it. The thing is, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to be comparing this Boxster with. It's certainly got all the fun of a lot of the £20,000 sports cars that are now on the market, but it's also got the luxury and quality of a much more expensive car. Perhaps the new Mercedes SLK will be its big competitor, or the new BMW M3 Roadster.
But paper comparisons are redundant, because get behind the wheel of a Boxster and you realise it really is in a class of its own and will see Porsche safely into the next century. Order now or join a long waiting list.
There was a time when the prancing horse of Ferrari was invincible on the racetrack. And even now, the cars which still race in the blood-red colours of Italy and whose name sounds like an exhaust note are the epitome of motoring romance. Now, it's hard enough to get a test drive in any Grand Prix car, but to get a drive in a factory Formula One Ferrari is nigh on impossible. But we were the first television company in the entire world to do just that.
This is the car that Alain Prost drove in the 1990 World Championship. But tonight, Alain Prost isn't behind the wheel. Tiff is.
Tiff. Now, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Jeremy, you forget I've been a Grand Prix driver. OK, it was a few years ago,
This is my point exactly, Tiff. This is semi-automatic, this car.
But Jeremy, it's even easier nowadays. Look, you just have these little paddles, you up on the right, down on the left. I've been practicing it all the way here on the aeroplane, up on the right, down on the left. You could do it.
Do you fit all right?
Fit? I came here to Italy especially 2 weeks ago. I've had my own seat made. I fit like a glove.
Well, all right then. Drive carefully.
Don't be ridiculous.
I just don't believe this is happening. I am in Alain Prost's 1990 World Championship winning Grand Prix Ferrari. Ferrari don't let people drive their cars. It just doesn't happen. Oh, a bit of oversteer there. Even when you just lift off in a car like that, oh, it feels like someone's put the brakes on. The aerodynamic downforce grabs the car back. Then if you use the brakes, the thing will stop so quick you hardly have time to change down the gears. Steering is quite light, so responsive. But listen to that V12 chiming in. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And up now to 12,000 revs in seventh gear. Streaming down the straight. Oh, down the braking point this corner. Brake. Oh. The gearbox is so good. The steering's so precise. You become very much one with the car. So you can feel its every move through your back, through the steering wheel. Feel those tires gripping, slipping, gripping. Feel the power chiming in. Oh, yes! Mind you, the day wasn't without its frustrations. Can you hear the misfire? The problem is not I cannot use full throttle, that's the problem. Thoroughbred stallions need constant attention, and this one hadn't been run for over 4 years. But in the end, all was well, and was I happy. The light there, bit of a twitch, trying to feed the power in. Easy to oversteer the cars in the slow speed corners, but of course in the higher speed, when the aerodynamics really come into the equation, then they grip like glue. Well, I'm just beginning to get a feel for this machine. I'm still nowhere near the braking point, streaming down into its seventh gear, probably 180 miles an hour. As we curve in, I go down to 6 and a throttle, and all of a sudden, 4, 3, no! Pick up the throttle. I can feel it understeering, then I've hit a cone there. Oh, understeer wide now, feed the power. Yes, 3. Into the left. The puff comes up. Oh, a bit of a slide there. This, I can get carried away with. All in all, it was an incredible experience. But we weren't in Italy just for a bit of Formula 1 fun, because Ferrari have now made a Grand Prix car for the road.
And here it is. The Ferrari F50. By no means the prettiest car ever to emerge from the Pininfarina styling studio, but on this occasion the skin is less important than the heart. That V12 engine is basically the same as the one in Tiff's car. It's bolted directly to the bulkhead, so it becomes an integral part of the chassis. They've even mounted the rear suspension to the gearbox. The tub is made from carbon fibre, 10 times stronger than steel, but so light I could pick it up with one hand. And it's the same story with the body. You can even see the weave of the carbon fibre through the paint. Then there's the suspension. In all cars there are rubber components to make the ride more comfortable, but you won't find them in a Grand Prix